Hey everybody, Motorpoet 59 here, and talk a little bit about the pathetic voter turnout in Kern County in California, which is where I live. I haven't looked to see what the average numbers were across the nation, but in Kern County, what I read, only 13% of registered voters turned out to vote, and that is pathetic. Now, there are a lot of reasons that would contribute to some of that, and that is everyone who gets a driver's license is automatically registered to vote in California. It's called the motor voter law. It was passed back in the 90s, I think, and a lot of those people probably just don't vote. Some of them probably don't even realize that they're registered voters. I know that a lot of people are politically apathetic. And that's a shame. You shouldn't be apathetic about politics, even if I'd like to say that I'm glad that if you lean to the left, you don't vote. But really, as Americans, voting is absolutely the most important right that we have as citizens. And you saw the piece that I recently did on jury duty. And in that, I said that jury duty is second only to voting. Everyone needs to be involved in what's going on in this country. And Kern County is, the majority of Kern County is Republican, conservative. And even so, if everybody in Kern County, if every conservative in Kern County would have showed up to vote, we still wouldn't have won the gubernatorial. We're not going to beat Gavin Newsom. There are more people in East LA than there are in Kern County. We're just way outnumbered by the population centers, and that's been the case for a long time, and it will continue to be the case for the foreseeable future, probably for the rest of my life anyway. And Texas, you're headed that way. Your population centers are already turning blue. Better watch your yin-yang, you end up just like us. But I don't know, as I said, I don't know what the national numbers were. It's just really disappointing knowing what's going on in America today. And in California, we had a lot of propositions that were voted on. And to be perfectly honest with you, I'm doing this video on Monday following Election Day. Election Day was last Tuesday. And I still haven't even looked up which propositions did or didn't do anything. Get out and vote, especially if you're a conservative. We cannot afford to keep sitting at home thinking our vote doesn't count, because when your vote doesn't count, when it really doesn't count? It doesn't count when you don't vote. It damn sure doesn't count if you don't vote. And if you don't vote, don't complain to me about what's going on. I don't want to hear it. I will tell you to shut up. I just don't want to hear it. Voting gives you the right to complain or to gloat. Other than that, you have no right to say anything. You have forfeited your right as a citizen to complain about anything political if you choose not to vote. And I don't think I know anyone personally who doesn't vote, who just flat doesn't vote. I know a lot of people who vote on the candidates but don't vote for yes or no on propositions. I don't even like that. You should vote on everything. You should, like I said in my research the candidates, research the judges, research anybody that's running for anything, and research the propositions. It all matters, and your vote matters. And just imagine that if something didn't turn out the way you wanted it to turn out, and you didn't think it was going to turn out the way you wanted it to turn out, so you just stayed home. And here in Kern County, another 50,000 people did the same thing. That's a big, big number. And I don't know how many registered voters there are in Kern County, but if only 13% of them turned out, it's pathetic. If you didn't vote, you should be ashamed of yourself. And I'm not trying to hurt anybody's feelings or pile on anybody, but you have rights as an American citizen that a lot of countries in the world don't have. They don't have that choice. That some of these countries say they do, but that's not the way it is. And if we keep allowing the left to take these bites out of the Constitution and our rights that are guaranteed us in the Constitution, they're already nibbling away at it, and we are allowing, as conservatives, we're allowing that to happen, and we're allowing it to happen because we won't stand up. Too many people aren't voting. Too many people aren't voting for the wrong, or aren't voting for the wrong reasons. I'm going to do a piece on single issue voters very soon. You should be ashamed of yourselves. But we need to stand up against this. And if we don't, then the right to vote will go away. It will go away at some point if we allow the left, and I'm not talking about the true American liberals. I've made that clear in many videos. I'm talking about the new progressives. I'm talking about the socialists. For some reason, they want to call themselves socialist, social democrats, or whatever. You know what? That's what Hitler called himself. So just remember that. Go vote. In the next election, we cannot afford to have a Democrat in the White House again. We really, really couldn't afford, and I mean afford financially, economically, to allow the Democrats to remain in power in the House right now. We have to get that number changed, or we're all going to lose our rights. And for you progressives and social democrats who think you're doing something good for the world, when all this comes to pass and you get what you want, you will be the next targets, because the people who are going to be running things don't care that you voted for them, because they don't need your vote anymore. They're in power, and there won't be anything you can do about anything that they decide to do, whether it affects you negatively or not. So remember that. Remember that when you think about how you're going to vote in any future election. Remember that you will be the next victims. All right, ran over. What do you think about that? Let me know in the comments below. Shoot me an email at motorpullet59@gmail.com. Like, share, subscribe. Click on the bell if you want to be notified of future content. We'll see you all later.